Hey guys, it's Michael. Lucid Motors is a California-based electric vehicle startup, and their goal is to take on and beat Tesla. Not only did Lucid Motors unveil its first all-electric sedan on September 9th, 2020 called the Lucid Air, and made some bold claims saying how it has the longest range, the fastest charge, biggest battery, fastest out of all EV Sedans, but they are also planning to launch an energy storage division, much like Tesla, who sells batteries for home electricity usage and utilities. So in today's video, we're first going to go over some background on Lucid Motors' announcement last month about their new EV sedan. Then we're going to go over the problems with starting an EV company right now and the challenges they will face trying to stand up to Tesla, but also some of the advantages they have as well. Next up, we're going to touch on a timeline on when you can expect to receive these Lucid Motors sedans delivered to customers. And finally, at the end, we're going to go over how Lucid Motors will impact companies like Tesla, Workhorse, and other EV companies. And if you enjoy this sort of content, well then please be sure to like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like more content, then make sure to check out my main channel. We're almost at 250,000 subscribers. Lucid Motors announced its first all-electric sedan called the Lucid Air on September 9th, 2020. It has some very impressive specs, such as an estimated 517 miles of range, fast charging of 20 miles per minute, a quarter-mile time of 9.9 seconds, and it is 17% more efficient than the Model S Tesla. Lucid Air is the only electric sedan able to achieve a quarter-mile time under 10 seconds, and it's only a smidge slower than some of the fastest and most expensive hypercars in the entire world, like the Ferrari LaFerrari, the Porsche 918 Spyder, and Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. While all these features are great, what really sets Lucid apart is that they developed a proprietary electric motor, electric inverter, and stackable battery pack system based on its expertise in developing batteries for Formula E race cars. So they're not like all the other EV startups. They have a lot of expertise and a lot of technology behind them. However, the problem right now is that starting up an electric vehicle company is notoriously difficult, and it faces steep competition from companies like Tesla and other automakers entering the EV market right now, like Workhorse, like Rivian, NIO. Multiple EV startups in the past have tried to go head-to-head with Tesla, like Faraday and Fisker, and they have tried to do the same thing that Lucid Motors is trying to do now, but where many of these companies run into trouble is they've run out of funding and they don't have enough money to get the products to the customers and conduct all of the manufacturing. But fortunately for Lucid Motors, it looks like they have funding under control, because in 2018, Lucid Motors secured $1 billion in funding from Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, and they said at the time that this $1 billion in funding would be used to complete engineering, development, and testing of the Lucid Air sedan, construct its factory in Arizona, and begin the global rollout of its retail strategy starting in North America to enter production. In addition to funding, another thing that Lucid Motors has going for them is Lucid CEO and CTO Peter Rawlinson was the former chief engineer on the Tesla Model S and said he was in charge of designing the whole vehicle. On top of this, he also spent years at Jaguar and Lotus, so having this knowledge of the EV space as well as the traditional gas-powered car space helps to separate Lucid Motors from other EV startups. There are dozens of EV startups out there, but having someone who worked on the Model S, Tesla being a chief engineer, and also working at Lotus and Jaguar, there's a lot more experience with Lucid Motors. Moving forward though, Lucid Motors said the production will begin on their cars in early 2021 at the company's plant in Arizona, and pilot production has already begun. The base model, called the Lucid Air, will start at below $80,000 with unspecified range and engine output right now, but the next level up is the Lucid Air Touring model, which will start at $95,000. It'll have a range of 406 miles to 620 horsepower. The next level up is the Air Grand Touring, and that will start at $139,000 with, again, more miles and more horsepower. And finally, a limited edition performance model called the Lucid Air Dream Edition will start at $169,000. It'll have a range between 465 miles and 503 miles, depending on the wheel size, and will also have over 1,000 horsepower. Lucid Motors said that the Air Grand Touring and Air Dream Edition will arrive in the second quarter of 2021, while the Air Touring will arrive in the fourth quarter of 2021, and the Air will begin arriving in 2022. So basically, all of their cars will start arriving either mid to late 2021 to the beginning half of 2022. And finally, let's go over how Lucid Motors will impact companies like Tesla, Workhorse, Rivian, and other EV companies. So, Lucid Motors still has a long way to go before it gets its first vehicle out and into the hands of consumers and paying customers before it can truly disrupt the EV space and have an impact on companies like Tesla. While many people think that Lucid Motors and Tesla will be in direct competition with one another, Tesla's mission is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, and they're trying to build cars for even cheaper and make them more accessible to more people. They're even planning on offering a $25,000 model Tesla. This is completely different from Lucid Motors, whose base model starts at $80,000. Much like other electric vehicle startups such as Nikola, Rivian, Workhorse, NIO, perhaps the biggest obstacle for Lucid Motors is whether it can manufacture the vehicle efficiently and obtain the financing necessary to survive the extremely competitive automotive industry. But make sure to keep an eye on Lucid moving forward, as the California-based startup does stand out from the rest of the EV startups because they have proven performance, a new vision developed by industry veterans. The CEO has a lot of experience in a number of different car companies, and crucially, they also have a lot of financing behind them. So they are in a good position right now. They're not available on any stock exchange, or they're not publicly traded right now, but eventually they most likely will be if they continue to do well. So anyways, that's what's going on with Lucid Motors and how they're trying to disrupt the EV space right now and compete head to head with companies like Tesla, Workhorse, Rivian, and all the other EV startups. Anyways, don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Wrubel investing app using the link down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.